I've been very impressed by Lisandro Martinez since coming back from injury. I think he's been one of Manchester United's most underrated players, and I definitely think in the Premier League. In this video, I want to have a conversation about Lisandro Martinez, talk about his impact on the team, and ultimately why I think he is one of the key reasons why United are playing so well. I don't think he's the sole reason, but he has been fantastic. So let's talk about Lisandro Martinez. Now, listen, for me, it's been a difficult, well, not for me, for him, it's been a difficult few years. At the club, he had two very serious injuries, and then he came back in that Crystal Palace game, the game in which De Ligt got injured. Martinez came on, and since then he's been fantastic, and he's been a mainstay in that team. I think what you see from Lisandro Martinez is a lot of things, but the one of them is leadership. And I think you look at that Manchester United backline, it was relatively inexperienced while De Ligt was out, Martinez was out, Maguire was injured. It was more time Shaw, Heaven, Euro at times, and it looked just inexperienced. That was really it. A lot of mistakes. I remember games like Bournemouth just conceding silly goals. West Ham in particular, we were missing like someone with a bit of leadership. And you look at how Martinez has done since that injury, and him coming back under Carrick, he's been fantastic to watch. And I think his impact on this team is fantastic. I think he offers his team a lot. So much defensively, and so much on the ball as well. And let's talk about that because on the ball, I think he's fantastic. I think he had the most touches in the game against Tottenham. A lot of good passes. His ability to make passes through the lines is fantastic, and it's not something that we've seen at United in recent years. It's something that we've been crying out for. I don't think it's really a strength of De Ligt, Maguire's as such. I think Martinez does that abundantly. There's so many line breaking passes that he makes. Multiple, like watch every game, whether that's Fulham, whether that's Arsenal, whether that's Man City, like Tottenham, even before that under Amorim, like the passes that he makes through the lines are fantastic, and it's something that you need. It massively speeds up transitions and ultimately gets you through the line. It's obviously easy to make the simple pass sideways to your left back or to your other centre back, or back to your goalkeeper. But I think Martinez is someone who's always looking forward, and a lot of the players do rely on Martinez to get the ball forward. And I think his passes are very good. He's also got a very good long passing range. If you remember that ball to Amad Diallo against Manchester City, a fantastic pass. It was a brilliant executed ball, a great run. He played a brilliant pass to Mbeumo in the game against Fulham, I think it was, where Mbeumo had a bit of a shaky touch, but again was still a great pass. You look at I remember the cross against Rangers, Bruno Fernandes scores a volley, injury time. His passing, long passing, short passing is absolutely amazing. As I said, you don't really see that. I know Van Dijk's his diagonal passing is fantastic and his short passing is unbelievable. I know Saliba's got a decent passing range, but I think that is one of Martinez's biggest assets. Another one of his assets, which is obviously vital, is his leadership. I think he's someone who increases standards, demands high standards, and he's someone who gets what it's like playing for the club. He lives and breathes football. He's a passionate guy, and I think ultimately that shows on the pitch. Obviously, sometimes he comes across maybe too aggressive, but I think that's just the way of showing his passion. And listen, he's faced a lot of criticism since joining Manchester United. He's too small, was the big one. He can't adapt to the league. He looks out of place. And he's overcome all that. Even criticism from ex-players, obviously heavily being criticised by Paul Scholes and Nicky Butt for his performance, or for his performance going into the Man City game, and he shut them down. He had a very quality performance. Obviously, the Arsenal game, you'd probably say is a bit of a step back from him. I thought he made that one little mistake on the goal, but other than that, I thought he was fantastic. And he's someone who, for me, listen, if he continues to stay fit, he's someone who is the first name on that team sheet for me. I think what he offers to the players around him, his experience, his leadership is vital. And I think he's definitely future captain material. And we've seen him at times. It was that Wolves game at Old Trafford where he was the captain numerous occasions before. And we've seen the quality and tenacity that he has in this team. I think he is absolutely vital. He's building a very good relationship with Maguire. I think I was concerned about that because they lacked pace, which is a big concern, especially playing in the back four. But I think they've handled that very, very well. And listen, their recovery position, fantastic. I think, as I said, there's a good kind of relationship there. I think with any centre back, especially because it's a duo, you need to have a good relationship and compatibility. And I think that's something that United have probably not really had over the years. If you go back, Lindelof and Maguire, they weren't really compatible. They were slow. I think they weren't that great on the ball either together. I think they were a pair that just struggled. I think if you look more recent, we've had De Ligt I mean, we've been playing more time with a back three, but you look now under Carrick, Maguire and Martinez, very good relationship. They understand each other's roles. Maguire's more that physical, aerial dominance, whereas Martinez, someone who's bringing out the ball from the back, progressing the ball through. I think they complement each other very, very well. Another thing is his composure. I mean, that turn that he made against Sherwood Bowen, which you could see in the title, was fantastic. I mean, in your own box, and that's not the only occasion. We've seen it so many times where he just brings the ball out and under tight situations, and I think he really has been one of United's best players under Michael Carrick. I think he's just slowly going about it. He's slowly just putting in the good performances, putting in the hard work, aggressive, dominant. And as I said, it's no coincidence that he's been in the team with Maguire when we've had a lot of our clean sheets this season. What was it? 2 of our 4 clean sheets have come under Michael Carrick. And yeah, I think while there are still concerns about his injury record, because he's had 2 serious injuries, I think he is a top level defender, and he's showing that at Manchester United. I think he's been unbelievable in the time since he's been back, and I just really do like Martinez, and hopefully he can kick on from here. As I said, he started every single game, played 90 minutes in every game for Michael Carrick. And as I said, 28 years of age, he does have relative experience. As I said, if the injuries do increase, you probably would look at bringing in a replacement, whether that is Kalulu, Bastoni, any other centre-backs. There's loads of centre-backs out there that we've been linked to, but if not, I think he is one of the first players on the team sheet alongside Bruno and Kobbie Mainoo at the moment, and obviously in Burma and these sorts of players. But listen, I've been very impressed by him. As I said, this is his 4th season. His first season was great, second season and third season obviously riddled with injury, but hopefully this season it's a good season for him, and he can go into the pre-season looking fitter, looking stronger, and then have a big next season. I think it'd be interesting to see whether he'll be able to cope with the demand with Manchester United being in hopefully 4 competitions next season. But yeah, if we can deal with that, he'd definitely be one of the first players on the team sheet. And I think whether that's with Maguire more so, I think it'd be De Ligt when he comes back. But they are building a very good relationship, and it's hard to kind of drop them at the moment. But yeah, this is just a conversation about Martinez. I think he's been fantastic. I think he was good under Amorim, he was good under Ten Hag, and his standards are definitely there. He loves the club, he gets football, and I think this is a valid conversation to have. And I think his performances this season have been great. As I said, his passing's fantastic. 63.4% and 90.2% accurate pass accuracy. I mean, he's created 0.1 chances from centre-back, which is insane. As I said, averaging over 1 dribble per game, 84.6% dribbles. Obviously, aerially, he actually has a 71.4% rate, which is actually not bad considering people criticise his height. But yeah, shout out Martinez, man. He's been a very good player for Manchester United. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.